What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KindaFunny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
You get all your packages delivered this morning on
I
your
was
bicycle?
waiting for it. Because when I showed up in the office, I thought I'd get it right away from Nick, that I was in full dad mode.
Yeah.
I thought I would get it for sure.
Yeah.
And then he was just silent.
Well, I was
but
prepared
deadly.
for it.
Yeah.
Because Mike said it's overalls Monday.
Which, by the way, I completely did forget about until I was watching the stream with my son Ben today, and I was like, "Oh right." And then, first off, Mike and Raj started trying to cast blame. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because Raj didn't remember overalls.
Yes.
Monday. And
Raj didn't remember. That was
then-
his problem.
Then the problem was Mike tried to blow it back on me.
Yeah.
Oh,
of
here's
course.
the thing about
Fifth
Mike.
blame
I don't know
Mike.
if you know this.
Fifth blame Mike.
You probably don't know this. Mike is what I call a grin fucker. All right.
Oh, sure.
Smiles to your face, talk shit behind
Talk
your
shit
back.
behind your back.
You know that 100%. So, of course, I'm watching the stream, and he's like, first off, you know how much respect he gives and reverence he gives me in real life, right?
Yes, yes.
I'm the big guy. I'm the big
Yeah.
kahuna. He loves me. He's
The big dog, the top
he
dog.
genuinely
Big dog,
flexes
great
it
to
with
see
me,
you,
right?
homie.
Yeah, exactly. Here he was talking to Roger like, I'm just some fucking guy who washes his car. And I didn't appreciate that 1 second. But he was saying, oh, yeah, Greg said he's going to put it on the counter. Yeah, put it on the counter. And like Roger's like, oh, look, the counter's never there. What Mike doesn't understand is that when I say, hey, I'm going to put something on the calendar and Mike's there, Mike needs to, this is why I pay him California minimum wage.
Yeah.
He puts it on the fucking calendar.
You're supposed to put it on the
All
calendar.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I always thought I thought this was his thing. I wasn't expecting you to be the one coordinating and all this. And by the way, I had some great laughs the other day with the Twitch chat when we were talking about Mike posting his tweet of him with his Tim's on the table and saying, and the caption was "New boot goofing."
Yeah.
That's
a great catch.
Just had to throw that out.
Come on, that's a great catch.
He had to tweet that out.
Totally
and
won
then
himself back on that one.
And then we said, we just started kind of trying to predict the future. One of the predictions was how soon before Nick buys Tim's, and then
Oh my
how
God.
soon after does Mike make fun of Nick for having these Tim's, similar to the
Interesting.
homie
full
love
circle.
the boots, homie love the boots, and then when Nick is on the room, we liking the boots. I'm not sure I like the boots, and then Nick being, you told me you liked them to my face. Why would you? Homie love the boots, homie.
We're on the anniversary stream, and unprompted, and not even on camera, Mike just said, "Love those boots, Nick. Love those boots you're wearing." And I'm like, I looked at him, I was like, no, no, just I reject
Don't
that.
lie to me.
Green
Do
fucker.
not
This is
talk about
green
my
fucking.
boots positively or negatively. You don't get to talk about my boots anymore.
Coming from Nick. Like, this is just like...
Because here's the thing, because it's heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Mike is just such a sweet human being, and I think he really legitimately means both of them. I think he means, you know what I mean? I think he loves the boots for a second, and then when he's with someone who doesn't like the boots, he's like, I just want you to be happy, so I don't like the boots either.
But it's also one of the things where you don't have to say anything.
But also, that's not the case. The example you're talking about, I like the boots so much so that I have very similar boots.
But then why does he do it?
He's
Has to.
just lying.
He's
to
a
you.
grin fucker.
Yeah.
Grin fucker. He is a grin fucker.
I've never heard of that term before today.
It was
I'll never forget that story.
It was an epic moment at IGN when the new owners came in, and who we like, for the record.
They were great.
Yeah. But
So great, still
But you know
like,
how it
still get
is, where
along.
it's like IGN's this fucking ragtag bunch of morons, right? Who somehow were operating under Fox for the longest time and nobody knew. Get sold to a new group. That's scary. You know, layoffs are eventually going to come.
Yeah.
We get called into a meeting with the new owner or whatever, and he gets up there and he's very much like, "Is this guy cool? Does this guy suck?" I think he was even wearing like the puff vest and
He had the
collared
Patagooch,
shirt.
but he was New York. They were from New York, right?
And so it was very much like, are you guys like typical VC, jerk offs or whatever? And for my money, they were nice guys. They turned out to be
Silicon
great. They were
Valley.
always treated me very nice.
But also in like, before all that, like we were so new to, this was like early 2010s.
Okay.
Very early.
11, 12.
Yeah.
There,
So like
13 maybe.
the world wasn't used to talking about Silicon Valley the way they are now. Like all the tech, no one was calling people tech guys back then.
Yeah.
Like bros. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's up there and he's giving a presentation and we're like all kind of vibing with it and everything's like great. And he's like, and he was doing real good. And it was like, we were like, all right, cool. And then he just goes, yeah. And the other thing you need to know about me is I don't like grin fuckers. And like the room was dead
room just
quiet. We're like,
we're all like,
and it's that thing where we're all like, are we supposed to know what a grin fucker is? You know what a grin fucker is? A grin fucker is somebody you'll bump into in the hallway and they'll smile and be real nice to you and then talk shit behind your back and da da da.
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
very
that's-
scary.
That tracks, but the way you said it was terrifying for a bunch of people fearing for their job.
What have you
Yeah.
done to make grin fuckers like part of your life? Like, that's what
I think if you're a venture capitalist, you have grin
I was
fuckers
gonna say,
all
I
out
think
there.
he was using it, correct me if I'm wrong, in the context of like, hey, I'm gonna be straight with you
Yeah.
guys about like there might be
didn't like grin
layoffs, there might
fuckers.
be things, there might be.
That's
I'm
when I
not gonna
decided
sit
I
here-
didn't like grin fuckers either.
Dude,
like
what-
Mike.
When he said that, and by the way, it was on like we're talking IGN, San Francisco, but then there was like a phone in front of him that was like the whole of like everyone, any satellite. He was talking to hundreds, if not.
the board doesn't like grin fuckers. Severin.
And he's just like, he's like, I'm not gonna sit here and grin fuck you guys. I don't like grin fuckers. And I was like, I think I need this man to be my mentor. I think this guy fucking has it, man.
This is the leadership
He
I
was
need.
rad. He was cool.
Anyways, if you're an audio visual viewer, you can see I'm dressed in full dad apparel. I have my sweatshirt on. I got my Portillo's hat on that I wear on the weekends. It's got the discoloration from sweat because Benny's always making me sweat out there. 8:45. What was I doing today, Tim?
Dealing with Ben.
I was in the fucking pool, man. I was out there.
What?
In the
getting my
pool?
laps on Monday's Benny's pool day, and so when the nanny's sick and Greg's got to jump on the morning shift, I'm in the pool,
Oh,
baby.
That's cool.
That explains a lot about the pictures you sent.
Smell me. I
I was like, why is he so wet right
Man,
now?
you smell clean
Yeah,
and dry.
Is this an
Or maybe
outdoors
dying.
thing? Is this
No, it's
what's
indoor.
The situation
It's indoor.
like?
It's down the Pris City. No,
Bunch of hot
sorry.
moms.
I don't-
It's,
you've seen Greg's
by-
like
by
setup,
Christie
right?
Field,
He's got a
Christie
pool like
Field.
in
Next
that
House
little
of
room.
A and all that jazz.
in the,
You know, like, you know the
Greg,
Ghostbusters
Greg.
pack? Directly to the left of that is a
Yeah.
Olympic-sized pool.
I got you beat. 6:30 a.m. Where am I?
the
Dog
pool.
park.
No, sitting
you're
in the
not gonna-
kitchen,
you're never gonna
painting the
guess this.
kitchen with a sprayer.
Sprayer
Kevin?
wasn't big enough. He had to get a bigger sprayer.
Oh
Kevin,
man,
I-
I get much bigger.
I've never commented once on your life choices, good or bad, but I'm just gonna put it out there.
not
Just
true.
have a kid. You're ready, man. You kidding me? Painting at 6:30 on a work
He's got
day?
too much time.
Oh.
He's got too much time. He was like, he came back and he was like, I didn't think it was gonna be dry for 4 more hours, and I came back and it was dry, so I decided to like tear everything around. I was like, at 6:45 in the morning.
That's a lot. Like, because here's my weekend was a lot of lack of sleep and catching up to me.
Mm,
Sure.
So
Yeah.
after we do our big stream,
it's true.
Mike had to hold me accountable and was like, "You got to go home and you got to stream before midnight so you can keep that streak going." Because when you do Twitch streaming, there's been an achievement staring at me this whole time saying stream 25 days out of 30 days possible, and it's always been there, and I've never
What does
done
this
it.
achievement get you?
Fucking self-love.
Can you imagine wasting your time on meaningless achievements?
This is
So I-
Pokemon Go, man.
So I go to him at 11:50 p.m. Fire up the stream. Let's fucking go. Did it for about an hour and a half. Had a great time playing Valorant. Went to sleep. Woke up. And usually there's like a lot of waking up. So I'll wake up to go pee. Wake up to go whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I wake
Like,
up.
what does that mean? A lot of waking up? Like,
Oh, no, I mean, there's some of that.
Barrett, help me.
there is some of that, you know. Like I'll wake up like at 9 in the morning. Maybe go pee.
Eric
Maybe look
starts
at my
his
phone.
regimen of coming in and putting Andy in like the sling, like kicking him up, and then
Pulls
giving
him
him
out.
shots in the knees.
This was a
Baby,
one.
Giving him the
Bud
monster
Light.
energy.
This was a 1:50 p.m. Just
Oh shit.
looking at my phone like, oh my god, 1:50 fucking p.m. I gotta start my day, man. I gotta get the fuck out of bed. This was a like,
Rise and grind, they say.
this was like a week of like 4 to 5 hours a night. Because here's the thing, I got some of them drugs, and them drugs aren't working on me very well. I got
drug?
I got some
Bad
Lexapro back. And I was doing really well with Lexapro, and like it would get me to sleep faster. It would stop the mind from running in the middle of the night and just like constantly worrying about shit. And then I started taking it recently and have just been feeling weird in my body. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be taking this Lexapro. And it happened like 2 nights in a row where I just cannot sleep. Sucks. So that fucked up some days. And then the other days were just asset creation, kind of like last minute things we want to get going. And it caught up to me. And it was, man, it was a good night. When you wake up with like a fucking, at least a pool that you could have dove into of just saliva.
Sure.
It's like, you know that you were knocked out.
Ben's having a bit of a sleep regression right now. You know what I mean? So he's like not sleeping as well as he has been in the past, which is mainly mean we put him down and then it's the constant.
Every
Oh.
time you say put him down, like I don't. There's.
Sorry.
I just
Sorry.
don't
When
like
we
it.
put him into his
Different
crib,
I throw that little
Frost.
fucker on the ground.
he cries out that I'm hungry. Can I get a water? Can I do? Just keep doing it. And eventually he will just look at you and go, "Mommy or Daddy." He'll go, "Daddy, sleep on floor," and he wants you to sleep next to the crib with him or whatever. And so a couple nights ago I was doing it or whatever, and he did one of the, oh yeah, I'm out immediately.
I'm the captain now.
Like, no, I mean, it gets him to sleep, but it's the same thing for me where it's like, all right, Jen, you want to watch a movie? And then all this happens. You're like, all right, it's like 8:30. All right, babe, I'll go put him down. 10:30, I come out. Like, what's going on? What are we doing?
Do you have a little bed there? Do you have a little dog bed by his crib?
No, I lay on the
You just
carpet.
lay on the hard carpet?
Yeah.
The unforgiving carpet?
So this is another wrinkle to the Ben conundrum, right? Of like, he doesn't like blankets still. He still doesn't like blanket. He sleeps
Not a
in a
big
sleep sack. He's in PJs in a sleep sack or whatever.
Okay.
What's a sleep sack?
Sleep sack is basically like, think of a wearable sleeping bag. Oh, so he
Like
wears
a little cocoon.
Yeah, he's got he has his legs. They make versions with legs rather than have like a bell bottom. You know what I mean?
You just get in it and you go, you don't have to worry about a blanket
Wait.
at all?
Yeah.
Why isn't this an adult thing?
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
This is
no,
awesome.
No, I'm sure they do. They probably do.
Isn't it kind of like the
Like a
what was
onesie or a
No,
Snuggie?
what was it? Snuggie? Yeah, that's it.
I mean, onesie or Snuggie, it's kind of like, you
Snuggie,
go
though,
into it.
Snuggie
Think of it,
always-
you know what it's like? I'm sorry, real quick.
No, you're good.
You know what it's more like in the version he wears is a snowsuit. Where you're
Yes,
putting
the
something on
thick-
over your
the
clothes
thick,
and
yeah.
you zip it up and it keeps you heated.
Mm.
So he's still not warmed up to blankets. However, we had some breakthroughs.
You so your kid, dude.
Where number one, he got a Lightning McQueen blanket, which he's pretty stoked
He's
about.
into Lightning McQueen.
And then number two,
Both stars, the
which one?
cutest thing
That,
I've ever seen in my
pink,
entire life.
pink one
Stars,
third in.
fucking stars, the cutest thing I've ever
Little
seen.
kid.
Look at this thing.
Then,
Patrick Star hat.
then Grandma Kennedy, my mom, got him one of those blankets you've probably seen on a TV or the back of a fucking Sky Mall catalog. That's Superman, but then they put his face on it. So it says Benjamin underneath it. So it's
Awesome.
like a drawing of Superman, but
We
it's
like
like the
that.
face on it. So he's been warming up to these, occasionally asking for them, usually throwing them out of the bed. The other night I'm in there and I forgot my slippers or socks or whatever, and it's chilly. So like I'm laying there and I'm like, all right, well, I gotta get comfortable. I took one blanket and pushed it for a pillow behind my head. I took the other, put it over my feet. No sooner does it float to the ground of my feet, Ben's like, give me that blanket. And I'm like, no, I'm cold. And I'm like arguing with him.
You're not
I'm
getting
cold.
it.
You don't use
You're not getting
it.
this blanket,
And he's like,
kids.
give it to me. I'm like, oh, geez. I throw the damn thing over there. He just to spite me slept with it.
God,
Just to
that's
spite me.
so funny.
Had no reason to do it.
Menopause.
Anyways, though, back to your point.
Oh my god.
There you go. That's
I want it.
That's what I need.
For Andy's point, it was
Tim, you deserve it.
one of the
Thank
nights
you.
I was there laying next to him, and he stirred and sat up, and I did one of those like, oh, what's wrong, little buddy? I put my hand up on the bed. I was like, oh, what the fuck? I had to I started feeling around. Like, did he piss? Is there a leak? And it was like, no, he's just been laying there drooling this puddle. I was like,
Yeah.
God damn, man, you
Yeah.
are my son.
Dude, real quick, I want to bring something up. Classic, Tim's an idiot that doesn't understand things, but it's just a real thing I got to talk about. Gia's going to Montana this week.
Cool.
Which is you've been there.
She can ride a horse.
I have been to Montana.
Right?
Film
Film
Festival? Yes, maybe. Where's Big Sky? Montana.
Yeah, I'm thinking
that
so.
sounds right.
Yeah. It's very cold there right now. And Gia's lived in Philly, in New York. Like, she's used to very cold weather and, the differences in weather that I am very much not used to. Like, it's always 65 degrees here in San Francisco. If I go to LA, Texas, you're pushing that 100, and that's horrible.
Yeah.
If it gets really cold, no matter where I'm at, like, you're talking, what, 40? 45 is like,
It was cold in the city.
like we're in
Sweet.
Boston and freezing our fucking asses off.
Oh,
We're
that
about
was
to
wild.
die,
Yeah, that was
right?
wild.
She is prepping for this, and she's like, "Oh man, I just don't have the clothes for this anymore. Like, I'm gonna have to go out this weekend and buy cold clothes."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Cool,
Remember this
fair.
being covered. Gia's clothes shrink the colder they get.
Oh, right.
That's true too."
That is lore, yeah.
So they're going out to to look for shit, and I'm like, "All right, cool. How cold are we talking here?" And she's like, "Well, one of the days is going to be." So she was like, "I'm looking at the weather for the week," and she's like, "I'm going on Wednesday, so I'll be there Wednesday to Friday." She's like, "Monday, it's gonna be like 27." And I was like, God damn, that's really crazy. Like, holy shit. And she's like, then Tuesday, it's going to be like 23. And I was like, whoa,
Jordan's
it's getting
number
lower.
nice.
That's really scary.
Okay.
And then she's like, yeah, but then when I get there, it's going to be 6 degrees.
Oh.
And then the next
shit.
day, it's going to be -2 degrees. And I just had a fucking meltdown. I'm like,
Well, we have some really significant severe.
Sorry.
I was like, I know that I've heard people say this before, and like, I know that there's the whole metric system situation. You know what I mean?
It's tough to hard to
It's all about the Fahrenheit to the Celsius, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay. So I'm like, I understand that, like, what some people are saying. I'm like, maybe they're talking about the other one. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
maybe this clearly doesn't make sense to me, so it must be a thing that I just a different language, right?
Totally.
And no, it starts getting broken down. She's like, no, this is real. This is what's going to happen. Like, it's going to be very cold. And like, I'm prepping for it. And she bought all of her stuff. I just can't stop thinking about this though. And hear me out here. Hear me out.
I'm with
Okay.
you.
I am used to the coldest thing imaginable for me being 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Like anything around that, I'm like, I just can't imagine it getting colder.
Yeah.
In the same way that I can't imagine it being much hotter than, or any hotter than 104 degrees. Like, to me, that's the range of like, I've been in both, and I'm like, this is, by my definition, freezing and burning.
Yeah,
So-
what really are the differences? Yeah.
So how the hell, scale-wise, are you telling me that we're going over 40 degrees less than what I am considering freezing fucking cold?
Yeah.
Because, like, if we added 40 degrees to 104, we're at 144
That's the
degrees.
sun. You're on the
That's
sun.
the sun, right?
You're on the sun.
Yeah.
Right? Something about this doesn't add up.
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what. Sorry, I was on my phone. I was just double checking that Big
God,
Sky was
my
in
ankles
Montana.
are
It was
cold.
Missoula, Montana, which it was. And I was there. Actually, I don't know, but I was there when there was snow on the ground. So it was fucking cold. And it was so cold that this town looked dead, like 40 days a night dead, like maybe vampires are stalking this town. And then you'd hear the faint, you get near a bar and you'd hear the faint crowd of something. And then you'd open it up and you'd get hit with the wall of sound because all the townsfolk,
Yeah.
I'll call them townsfolk,
Townsfolk.
were just, they didn't want
In
to
the
go outside.
tavern. They're in the
They're
tavern.
in the thing, like nuts up, getting drunk, and it's hot as shit.
It's a
in there,
bunch of
and it's so
dwarves,
cool.
like in a frozen, like kind of tavern, like just Lord of the Rings style. Everybody's got big
Absolutely.
old mugs of something.
Ale.
Mead.
Now,
Mead.
Tim, I think the feeling that you haven't quite experienced when it does get lower to what you consider to be cold is like, it doesn't then just get cold; it gets painful.
Stings.
Like
Boston.
it hurts your face. It hurt-
Boston
yeah.
was the coldest I've ever been.
And
Second
what
only
was that,
to
though?
second only to getting like on a ski lift in the middle of a whiteout, like a blizzard in Tahoe. That was really cold
But,
because I was
like,
wet.
Boston, you guys were walking through was like 8 feet of snow, right?
No drifts, yeah.
It
like,
was
pl-
it wasn't that we were walking through, Kevin. It's that me and Tim didn't plan.
No,
to
yeah,
be in
yeah,
snow?
totally, yeah.
So we were in jackets very similar to the ones
Just
we're
like
having.
what
I had
we're
like a
wearing,
North
yeah.
Face jacket on that was like, oh, wear this when it's a little shady out.
yeah.
We had to buy
that's what I'm talking
balaclavas.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was probably below.
That
That was
writing.
freezing because everything, all the water around us was ice. So I imagine that was that. What's freezing? Is it below zero? 32? 32.
On
So that was-
Celsius, it's 0. On ours, 32.
So that was probably below 32. But anything below zero is
But
like
see, that's my
dangerous.
point, though. So let's say, for conversation's sake, that was 25.
That's fucking
How
cold.
the fuck are they? Is G about to be in 27 degrees less than what we experienced there?
And how do planes work?
Yeah.
It's a
They can't
great
fly overhead.
question.
What do
can't
you
fly overhead.
mean?
I just like
It's so cold up there. It's so cold, Kevin.
Because what I mean by that is I have a layover in Houston, and there's like maybe slight drizzle, maybe one thing of lightning, whole plane shuts down. Everything is shut down. Whole airport just done for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how do any cities with any sort of snow
Why
get
Chicago,
anything going?
the main hub of all this shit?
Yeah, like how do they get anything going and
Well, they're
function? I
prepared.
don't
They've
get it.
Planned for all
They
this.
de-ice. You ever see them get de-iced?
No.
They de-ice planes.
The key is you have to always be landing planes because then it just clears everything off the runway.
That's a great point.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
if they let a plane go like 5 minutes without landing,
builds
they gotta,
up.
Yeah, they got to de-ice the whole.
You're just
fucking
sliding all over the place.
thing. It's a bummer. It's
My-
a
and then
huge
you get
bummer.
my favorite like TikTok videos of just cars sliding down frozen hills.
or just slow though.
Just
right?
slow and just
Like they hit the brakes and they just don't
It's just
stop
like,
and they just go.
here
oh,
comes another
shit.
SUV, bumper to
Yep.
bumper, and it just builds up and builds up. It's a great time. What's up, Kev?
Oh, just there's another giant cold front coming in like 2 weeks, right? Where like temperatures are gonna get super low and
Here?
Like no, not well. I mean, it'll
We'll get
barely
wet.
touch here.
Like an atmospheric river?
no, like the no. I'm talking about like in the south, like there might be snow again.
Oh,
Not
one
snow
that's
or
gonna like
ice.
fuck up
Yeah.
Austin again.
Like all of
Texas?
central.
Well, I bet Ted Cruz will be getting out pretty quick then, huh?
Ah,
What he did that
Hey,
before
topical humor.
politics.
he loves
Here we go.
escaping. I had a random story I was thinking about.
And of course, that has nitro rifle.
I was playing golf with my brother and my dad,
Can brag about it.
and we were like near the end of the 18, and we're shooting this way, and right off to the side, like a big, beautiful like heron,
Oh, nice.
some big like
Yeah.
Like a
white.
fish?
No, is a heron a fish? No, it's a bird, right?
Herring. I'm sorry. I'm
Heron.
thinking-
Herring. is what
Halibut.
You're thinking of.
What's a herring?
Herring's a fish.
Yeah. Okay.
There's just a big, beautiful white
Just
bird
the halibut.
near the water,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, exactly like
So
this.
you were the boy.
Huh?
It was the herring.
Yeah. And I had to go. I was like, I need to go grab my phone. It's gonna be an awesome
you
ass
were gonna grab
photo.
it.
Yeah.
Like the sun is hitting the water perfectly. This bird is
Its
looking
fucking neck. Don't you
majestic
grin
right
fuck me,
to the
bird.
left of us. It's looking so majestic to the left of us. I go grab my phone. As I'm walking to go take a photo of the bird, I just hear my dad go, "Whew, boom." Fucking he hits the ball. Hits
Oh
the
my
rock.
God. You can't say he hits the bird.
He hits the ball. The ball hits the rock like 7 feet in front of us. Bounces back towards the bird. The bird flies away. And I was like, God damn it! I was about to take a photo of that shit. And my dad was like, I'm so sorry. But it was just like the perfect turn of events of like this terrible golf shot about an inch off the ground hitting a rock. Poor fucking heron, dude.
I thought
Heron
for a
is so
second
far
you were
away
going
then.
to take the picture, and in the picture it was going to be an explosion of white feathers.
No, this
That
was
one
not
picture.
This was not a Randy Johnson type
Yeah,
moment.
that's
Remember Randy
great.
Johnson?
I remember that. Yeah,
That's
I think I
1
watched
million,
that
man.
shit live.
he rocked that mullet
a
for a long
billion.
time.
Sure did.
Yeah, he did.
Still rocking it.
Still does, I think. You know, he's a photographer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
You know, I
does
do
weddings.
vaguely remember that. I remember that. Is he still rocking the mullet? Kevin, give me a Randy Johnson photo as close to 2024 as you can, please.
Randy Johnson, former Hall of
See?
Fame pitcher.
And he no mullet.
Not face mullet.
They call him the
mullet.
big unit.
They did call him a big
This
unit.
guy was like 6'5",
They call him
6'6".
What a
Unit?
like
I don't like that name.
that.
Incredibly-
I'm not okay with that.
Incredibly good pitcher. But what he does now, he takes, like, he's an NFL sideline photographer. So he's there like with a little like green vest, and he just like
Cool.
takes.
Do you
he's-
think he needs to do that or wants?
No,
to do
he
that?
loves it. He just
Really?
loves it. Yeah.
Cool.
This guy made millions and millions of dollars. This
He's
is
pretty
just,
wealthy. Right?
You don't
He's
think
pretty well
he
off.
pissed it all away?
I hope not.
I hope so. I hope so too. I don't know. I haven't.
Well-
I saw it, but I haven't followed up on the story about it. I've been watching a lot of Dark Side of the Ring. Those people usually piss the money away, and then they got to do the thing. You know,
Who's pissed it away?
everybody. Who you like in the '80s? Ultimate Warrior. He
Jake the
pissed it away.
Snake.
Can I ask some questions?
Sure. Big unit. It's a good nickname.
Like
Slim Reaper.
this
Kevin
sounds silly, but like, what does pissing money away actually look like?
Oh, you could be like MC Hammer,
Yep.
who bought shit for everyone
Yep.
and then went bankrupt and then had to pay taxes. And he's like, I don't have the money for it.
Mike, listen to this, please.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It happens all the time. It especially happens because you feel like the number one story you hear is you like all these people supported you on the way up, so you feel like you owe them, and then they start coming out of the woodworks, and you don't want to be the guy that's like, I have tons of money, so,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna say no. But at a certain point, you have to cut it off.
So okay, there's that, but like, there must be a less nice, helpful version, right? And like, is it really just like?
Well, I mean, it's just not paying attention to your money. You're buying too many houses. You're buying too many cars. You're buying all the stuff you don't. You think the good times are gonna last forever. You're not saving anything.
You're
not
doing
making
the-
investments.
The Nicolas Cage thing, buying like mummified whatever because he loves old artifacts.
What's up? Is he broke? Because I was listening to a
He's back,
horror
maybe.
podcast and they were talking about New Orleans ghosts and how he bought a haunted house there, but it went into foreclosure. So
Yeah, he
then
just
bought
got
some big pyramid gravestone, and there was a rumor that was because it was a tax shelter.
he famously got very, very broke, right?
He did,
And the last several years, he's been working to pay that debt off instead of declaring bankruptcy.
Got it.
And I think last year, maybe the year before that, he declared that like I've fully paid off my debts, and that's one of the reasons that he's done so many movies.
Yeah,
in
there
the
was
last 5 years.
there was a recent statement from him saying like, I don't need to be as like hungry for every role possible. I can be more selective now, and that was everybody assuming, oh, he's good financially then. Because for a while it was every movie
What do
under
we think?
the sun.
So, like, was he being selective or wanting the paycheck for
With
Dead
those
by Daylight?
movies?
Dead
But
by
which one?
Daylight. I feel
Remember
like
when he was in Dead by Daylight?
you know him talking about.
He like he liked it.
That was a
He did seem like he liked it.
Yeah.
I really do feel like that was a kind of a passion of like, my kids love video games. They've heard of this video game. This sounds cool as hell. I think that was like let me make the family happy. Because how much could they have actually paid him, you know?
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, he did stand by. He was like, I still stand by every movie I made during that time when I had to do stuff. He's like, I recognize that some aren't as good as others, but he's like, there was some good work in there. And he's like, I love being an actor, and I just wanted to pay off my debt by like doing the thing that I love instead of like declaring bankruptcy, which is pretty cool.
Did any of you end up seeing Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
Sure
I
did.
did. It's fine.
I enjoyed that movie.
I liked it a lot.
I thought it was fine.
Oh, so good.
So fun.
Yeah, I thought it for what it was, which was supposed to be like the Nicolas Cage comeback vehicle. I was like, it's fine. It was enjoyable, but it didn't put him on the. I didn't put him.
I
right
don't know
back
if that
on
was
the
like
map.
the goal of it, was it? Like I
Well,
thought it was
that
more
was-
celebration.
That was kind of the movie that he had done, I think, like that he made it sound like, or maybe I'm misremembering this, that this was the movie that he's like, I'm excited about this. I wanted to do this. I'm out of debt. I chose this project because it's a cool project and fun, as opposed to fucking Upstream Colors or whatever, or Mandy or whatever it was, where it was just like
Color from Outer
A lot of people
Space.
like Mandy.
Color Out of Space was fucking
Fucking
nuts.
wild.
Did you watch any of those that he did?
No.
That's
That
wild.
era of Nicolas Cage is going to go down as like one of the most bonkers fucking things that's ever happened. But for every one of those weird movies, then he made the movie Pig that everyone seemed to love, that I never even watched, but it was like, it's like a legit good movie. But Color Out of Space was what I imagine the closest thing to having a bad acid trip could possibly be.
Yeah, I'm like woefully uninformed on Nicolas Cage.
you don't need to be
I've never
informed.
seen Gone in 60 Seconds.
That's
and
great.
that
You
feels
would
like
Wow,
something I
that's
need to watch.
crazy.
But like, I know him mainly from Kick-Ass.
Toss it into
That was
Fast
my
and
thing.
Review.
There's 3 eras
well.
of Nicolas Cage. There's the Nicolas Cage era in like the 80s, where he's a legit,
Raising Arizona.
very, very good actor, kicking it off with Raising
Moonstone.
Arizona, which is a Coen Brothers film, one of my favorite Coen Brothers
Moonshine.
films. Moonstruck,
Moonstruck.
fantastic, with Cher. I think she got nominated for an Academy Award for that. Maybe he did too. I can't remember.
Yeah,
He plays an Italian guy with one hand. Fucking awesome. He's like, oh, they took my hand. I got my. Anyway, it's great.
That's accurate. That's an accurate
It's
description.
very accurate.
And in Raising
then,
Arizona, he's like, I'm raising Arizona.
and then you that first
I'm
era.
Moonstruck.
The first era sort of ends with Bayham, right, where he is then suddenly in Gone in 60 Seconds and Con Air.
Was that Michael Bay?
I could be wrong. I always get this confused. It's either Michael Bay or it's like Tony Scott, something around there. I gotta look it up. Kevin, can you bring up the IMDb page for
Yeah,
Gone in 60
I'm
Seconds?
going for it
Con
now.
Air was. God,
Face
that's
Off.
Bruckheimer and Don Simpson as well. So I think it's
I
Bruckheimer.
don't think
it's
Nicolas
Bruckheimer.
Cage
Gone in
and Michael Bay
60
did anything.
seconds.
This might have been Bruckheimer then. Sorry,
Dominic
not.
Sena.
Can you Google the producers of it though?
Scott Rosenberg.
Like just go into like see if it's a.
Scott,
Pretty sure it's a
use
Don
the
Simpson
hands.
movie. Anyway, he's became an action star, which is great. And then I think he won an Academy Award for adaptation somewhere in there. as
Oh,
well.
okay, I saw that.
Yeah,
but
so he's a good
that
actor.
was like a high school in
Harry
my high school
Bruckheimer.
film class. We had to watch that.
Yeah, so this is Bruckheimer. Sorry, Con Air and Gone in 60 Seconds are Bruckheimer films, which are fucking great.
I only
You
know
love
Pirates. Pirates
both
is
of
mine.
those. What's that?
Pirates.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mhm.
The Bruckheimer.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. Done.
That's the
Surprised he's not Captain Jack Sparrow. He could have been.
Could have been.
Because wasn't it just a back-to-back of Face Off with Con Air?
Face Off. I think,
Rock's in there somewhere.
was first. Then it was Con Air. Then it was The Rock. Then it was Gone.
I mean,
in
he was
60
on a
Seconds.
heater.
I feel like The Rock was before.
Oh, maybe it was.
Face
Maybe that
Off.
kicked it up.
The Rock's the only one of those I've seen.
Kevin, bring
So
up
good.
Nicolas Cage's IMDb. and we'll
We've
look at
done
it
this
chronologically.
before on GOG. I want to
Looked at
Probably.
Nick Cage.
Well, let's
yeah,
look
because we
back.
talked
Let's
about
take a
doing
look
it for in
back.
review.
Impossible. I
Like
don't
how
believe it.
many?
I
I
don't
think
believe
we
you
were
do
having a
that.
conversation about what's the in review that would have the most entries.
Nick Cage would be in there. Can you scroll down just to see around The Rock? Let's see what's after and before The Rock. Keep
I
scrolling,
do
keep scrolling,
remember
keep scrolling.
discovering there was
hold on. You
a
gotta
similar
change it now.
celebrity
Oh, yeah, it took all that
to
stupid
Nick
shit out of
Cage
there.
that we were like, wow, that's a lot of entries of movies that
Yeah.
we didn't even know existed.
Here we're going. We're doing.
All right,
We're
we're
There
here,
are
almost
so
there.
many movies. Oh my god!
Oh, he did the National Treasures movies too, which fucking.
we are
looks
still in
so
2006.
Have we not done National Treasure review?
No,
Let's see.
it's a
Family Man's
fucking
good. Face
shame.
Off. There we go. Con Air. So we did The
So
Rock.
Rock, yeah.
Con Air, Face Off.
Face Off.
City of Angels. We won't think about that. Snake Eyes. We won't think about that. 8 millimeters. We're starting. And then Gone in 60 Seconds.
You want to
Wait,
think about
Snake
City of
Eyes?
Angels?
The Meg Ryan classic where they bang because he's an angel
creepy
that
guard.
falls
You remember
to
this
earth.
one? Oh man, you want to talk about how fucked up God is, huh? So you got a bunch of these guardian angels. They all dress like Neo, no sunglasses, and they just creepily watch you and shit or whatever, right? Hey, while you shit too. Nicolas Cage is Meg Ryan's guardian angel, falls in love with her. And I forget how she gets the inkling that there's an angel that loves her or some kind of shit, but she does. She knows this thing, whatever. And I
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
I watched. This is one I'm like. I think I might have watched the movie once on USA, but the trailer got ran a lot. You know what I mean? I'm gonna spoil the end of the movie too for everybody, because again, God, you son of a bitch! Like, so he's.
So big.
Where you going? I'm doing this for your perusal. What are you doing?
He has to pee. He has to pee.
Well, fine.
You're
then.
got
only
a call.
talking to
While
him.
he
I
does
would like to
that,
hear
ladies
this.
and
I don't
gentlemen,
remember
I
it.
will tell you that this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 3 best friends gather on this table, each coming to talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. If you want to talk to us, you can go to kindoffunny.com/KFP to write in with your own topics of conversation. But hey, If you love what we do, please support us with the Kinda Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show called Greg Way. I have to read off the page because it's a brand new intro because, of course, on Friday, we came back for year 9 of Kinda Funny and launched the Kinda Funny membership on both patreon.com/kindafunny and youtube.com/kindafunnygames, meaning that right now, I have 2 beautiful chats in front of me, the Patreon chat and the YouTube chat. So many people in the YouTube chat were saying they were here for the first time, including Bored Guy. He's gone by. This is a long time ago. They were talking about
He's already gone.
top of the show. They were talking about that. Langley, I saw you. You're a brand new person too, even though now you're saying Cage has some huge stinkers. A whole bunch of people came over to support us. If you've ever enjoyed our content, we would love it if you came over for this month and supported us. The Kinda Funny membership gets all of our content ad-free. You can get, of course, the Greg Way show I was talking about earlier. You can have a great time. You can go over there. You can get the tote bag right now if you wanted to go up higher. You could, of course, get Kinda Funny Happy Hour, our brand new Patreon product that we don't want to call a show for some reason because Tim said don't call it a show.
Yeah, don't call it a show.
Of course,
It's an
though,
experience.
if you like the Kinda Funny podcast, you can get it for free with ads and without the exclusive content on YouTube and podcast services around the globe. Thank you to our Patreon producers, James Hastings, Casey Andrew, Nathan Lamoth. Today we're brought to you by BetterHelp. And hey, let's hear from them right now.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Around New Year's, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. You can get out of your negative thought cycles and find some mental and emotional peace, and it can give you the tools you need to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made by visiting betterhelp.com/kindafunny today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny. BetterHelp.com/kindafunny.
All right, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So,
Mom stuff.
I know. I figured
good stuff, though.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
could've been
Okay.
bad, but it was
yeah. It was. It doesn't matter. God.
No, wait. Do
This
you remember
son
where
of
we
a
were?
bitch.
In the
I remember
story?
exactly where we were. Vanilla Sky.
God, son of a
No.
Yeah,
Wait.
Vanilla Sky. Perfect. Tom Cruise classic.
I always compare the City of Angels.
City of
Vanilla
Angels.
Sky.
I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm with you.
okay.
So, anyways, right? They fall in love with each other without ever seeing each other, talking to each other, kind of shit. Then again, this is. Do I remember? I was a kid, obviously. But like he's born out of a bathtub or some shit, and he's there now, and he's real, and she's there, and they.
Born out of a bathtub.
Yeah, I remember him coming out of a bathtub. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't fucking know
I
what's
would
going
love
on.
to actually see what the plot
He comes up like this. And so that happened.
It's a big show.
He comes out. She has to like teach him how to eat and shit. You know what I mean? And shit probably too, because he doesn't remember any of this crap. He doesn't know how to do it. He's never done it. He's an angel, right? And then the one guy from like one of those ABC procedurals, he's an angel. Angels can't talk. They can talk to each other when they're angels. When you're a bird, you can't talk.
I love that this is all supposed to be known knowledge to Tim. Like he's never done this before. He's an angel, right? Of course.
Well, I gotta set up. Like I understand, of course, that like you don't know the rules of the angels.
Yeah, Nick, are you following?
I'm just looking at the chat right now.
No,
I
but
think.
like, have you seen this movie?
I saw this movie one time
So, like,
in the 90s, and I remember there's just one line of that suck when they have sex, and she goes, "We fit together."
I don't remember that.
I was like, that was hot, big, right? That's fucking hot.
Yeah.
That's
But
hot.
wait, like what he's saying though, does it add up?
Yeah, this was a weird movie. He was an angel that falls in love with her, falls to earth, and then there's other angels that piss him off.
Yeah, they're all pissed off.
They're
but
so
then
mad.
here's you want to fucking God? Is he a genie? I don't know, but he should have put in the third wish. Don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? Because what happens is fine.
Is God a character in this?
I don't remember. You're down
don't
there though.
think
But I mean, like
so.
you're working for him, or
He's
maybe
something
the devil.
different.
You know what I mean? Anyways, he's down there now, and he's like, I got everything I want. Meg Ryan and me live out here. They live in the woods, like in all these redwoods and stuff. I don't remember if it's California or not, but they're out like maybe Washington. It doesn't matter. But they got trees.
I'm glad we know the details.
I'm painting a picture. But they're in a very remote, woodsy area, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we got everything we ever wanted, right? I could never find a human to love, but the one thing that was looking out for me is down here looking out for here. I've been touched by an angel. I've been fucked by an angel, right? I'm here, but if I'm lying, I'm dying, Tim. It turns out if your guardian angel fucks off, you're not being guarded. She goes on a bike ride because she's having such a great time, and she just goes. She gets hit by a Mack truck full of tree logs, killed.
No.
Now Nicolas Cage trapped on Earth as a shitty fucking human.
Yeah, shitty human.
She dies.
So he's not
Yeah.
an angel anymore.
No, it's very much like Dogma if you cut off your wings.
Oh.
But now you got to shit, and you got to shit, unlike Dogma.
Well, that's pretty cool though, because people like shitting sometimes.
Like
Now,
Death Note
do
and
you
Mean
remember
Girls.
the? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, I'd love a question about City of Angels.
Well, this
Whatever
is
the fuck
actually
it's called.
It's actually about Vanilla Sky.
this. It's not
Tech
really.
support!
It's tangentially related. Could you explain to Tim the plot from the movie Michael, starring John Travolta?
I love a challenge.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Have you ever heard of Michael the Archangel, right? He's a big time angel, big deal.
Celebrity angel.
Got it.
Here's I
I don't
honestly
remember fucking thing. You're on your own on this one.
oh shit.
You're
fuck.
on your
Okay.
own. I just remember it was another Michael Fallen Angels like
John Travolta is back. Pulp Fiction has put him back on the map.
back on that.
and he's like,
first thing he picks.
now I'll pick this Andy McDowell movie.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I want
God, I
Kevin,
forgot
if you
she was
could
in
ready
that.
like the Wikipedia synopsis to read after Greg goes through this.
The movie's called Michael, and it's with
That's it.
John Travolta.
Yeah.
If Kevin's in there,
Was
So-
this kind of like Powder?
Kind of. It felt
no.
like it though.
You're thinking the one where he gets. It was like he has powers. That's a different movie.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
phenomenon.
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 That's the
Yeah.
one that was like powder.
What was
this
the
is
Mariah
not
Carey movie?
phenomenon.
Bubbles.
Jiggly? No.
No.
Glitter.
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 So anyway,
But that has nothing nothing at all.
so Michael
Great movie.
is the archangel,
movie.
right? Big deal. He's a big deal God angel, right?
Yeah.
Again, I'm rusty on this one, so I'm gonna be able to tell you the middle of the movie. Because I don't, for the life of me, remember why Michael was down here or if he got back. But he was down here, right? And he's in a small town. And what it is that rumor of him being the angel Get Out or whatever, that they got a fucking angel in this town. And so Andy McDowell comes on down with her fucking
You see this? This is a movie he made, bro. He's like, this is it.
Andy McDowell comes on down with her news crew where they want to follow Michael, right? And as you can see, they get him here, and but there's what
Smoking doobie?
the way it started, and I don't know if we're trying. I know we're not trying to watch it because we're not gonna. But like, there's a big infamous scene of him in a trench coat with a cigarette just dancing, because he wore the trench coat very much like,
Neo. Oh, Silent J.
Raphael, because he wanted to hide the way Raph wanted to hide being a turtle. Mike wanted to hide being an angel.
Oh.
So he's down there, and they don't believe him, and then they finally like, prove it. So he takes off the thing, and he shows that he has the wings, which you already saw there later on, right? And they're like, "Oh my god!" So they start doing it again. What's interesting about what's great about this and what stuck from my memory, Kevin, what is this, like 1990,
96.
96. Oh man, okay, so I'm 13. What stuck from me about this was that all the women wanted to fuck Michael.
They all want to fuck
and he
Michael.
fucked them.
Yeah.
He was fucking women. And what was interesting is,
Angel babies.
in a very Santa Clausy kind of thing, you know what I mean? His pheromones, his angel pheromones, smelled like whatever would put the women at ease. Kind of like a fucking, kind of creepy when you think about it.
It's like
But to
in the
Andy
wild.
McDowell, he smelled like chocolate chip cookies, and then to like Joey Lauren Adams from Chasing Amy, of course, she was in this flick. He
Whoa.
smelled like whatever, and like it was that they had that thing. But he was fucking left and right, and he was down here. I want to say William Hurt, but it wasn't William Hurt. Who was the guy? I'm thinking
Dude,
of?
you are remembering so much more about this movie than me.
It might have been
I
William
just remember
Hurt.
him smoking a cigarette. That was it.
Kevin, can I
And,
get a
like,
check if it
dancing.
was William Hurt?
William Hurt, General Ross.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, Thunderbolt.
Exactly. And you always like, oh, General Ross.
It
I'm like,
is.
oh,
yeah.
Michael.
Starring William Hurt.
Yeah, see, there you go.
There you go.
The true William Hurt fans would go, oh,
Exactly.
Michael.
Oh my God! If I sat down in the '90s to a William Hurt picture, I was having a great.
Incredible.
So wait, at the end of this, does Michael survive? Does
Again,
anyone else
I only
die?
remember the
Just the
dancing and the
middle?
news and the sex.
Got it,
That's
okay.
what
You
I
remember
got for
so
you.
much more of this movie than I do.
Andy,
Can
is
you
there-
do Phenomenon now?
Yeah, Phenomenon is another one that I'm a little rusty on. I don't remember the beginning of like how he got the power.
He sees like a shining light, right?
Yeah, and he can move shit.
I do want to say
He
that
becomes super genius.
the
Yes,
double,
that's right.
The double feature. This is one of the non-talked about double features, similar to when we had Deep Impact and Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
Powder and Phenomenon
Powder.
were like within a year of each other, I believe. Very, very similar premises, just like
And
Friends with
people with
benefits, no
power.
strings
this is gonna
attached.
sound offensive. All right,
put your
just
mouth through that.
give me a second though.
hear it, let's hear
Everybody, I'm Chris Pratt. I'm
Let's
Chris
hear it.
Pratt. You've all seen the memes, right? Where it's like a normal shot of whatever in the U.S. and then they say like, oh, but if it was in Mexico, and they put that like yellow
Orange.
filter over
Yeah.
it. Both Phenomenon and Powder had that kind of palette thing going on.
Oh,
That was the thing, because like both of them were in like, we're down on our luck, farm town, small town, dust bowl kind of shit going on. One of them though, I can move shit, and the other guy's like, I'm Powder.
yeah, Powder. Yeah, the guy like what's it called when you can't be in the sun?
I thought he was kind of
He had like really,
vampires.
really white.
No,
skin.
no,
he was an
albino.
right?
Albino.
Yeah.
yeah. I think he had like.
But it was like
purple eyes, maybe.
it wasn't even it was like cranked up. It was albino 11 for Powder.
Because like they
And I'll tell you what.
spoon. They bent the spoon before Neo did, I believe.
And I'll tell you what, and that's true that happened.
Well, that was
Yeah.
a big thing on TV.
Kadabra.
right?
There had for years, yeah, like Johnny Carson. But I'll tell you what, I'm Greg Miller, and I got a lot of great ideas. All right?
Bring
I
back
don't put a
Powder.
lot of them into motion. Some of my I'll tell you that doesn't look yellow at all. But in my
I'm pretty
head,
sure.
in my head,
I also think it takes place in Seattle, but I could be wrong. I remember there being rainy.
anyways.
Farm towns of Seattle.
Andy McDowell. What a career. That wasn't her.
That was Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't remember this was a McDowell picture too.
No.
Back to it though.
Here we go. Here's the spoon's about to bend. Audio listeners, the spoon's about to bend. Oh,
He's
no, he
doing
does, like,
more, yeah,
magnetized
yeah,
shit.
he
Oh,
wasn't doing the most
He was mad,
basic
yeah, look at that
bullshit,
kid's hair.
right?
His power. he
Imagine
had
getting that
power.
many mashed potatoes at school. Anyways, back to my point. If one of my ideas was so great and it was like, I write this fucking script, at some point you would have to stop and think, am I about to fuck up every albino kid's life for a generation? And if the answer was yes, I would have probably thrown the script away.
Yeah.
Every kid who was, I must have been called Powder the rest of their fucking, like, you know what I mean?
100%.
We're reigniting it right now. You know how many 10-year-olds watch this fucking podcast? They're all going to be going powder, powder, powder.
They see someone just fair complexed and they're like, Powder.
Where'd you learn that name?
I thought it was over.
Kevin, can we get the quick synopsis
We lived through this.
of Michael from Wikipedia, please? Just to kind of
Oh
match
my
it up. Maybe we
God.
can like reignite some of the.
The National Mirror is a tabloid publication that reports primarily on unexplainable phenomena.
I think we just need the synopsis.
the editor,
whole plot.
Barton, you told this is exactly what
Well,
you told
that's
him
the
to do.
plot.
The little top part.
There you go.
It doesn't like that.
That's not going to tell me
like-
how he
it
got to
doesn't say
Earth and how he got
anything,
away.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find
Did he
it.
get away?
Look
You know
at him
what I
on
mean?
the poster.
Look at, what's up with the dog? Is that a knife in the dog's mouth?
No,
No,
it's
it's
a
his feather.
feather.
You guys have to also.
Oh, I fucking forgot though.
The dog
Oh,
is
you
in
love
it.
that dog? Dog fucking dies.
No.
Hit by a car. But
Same car that
Same
had
car
me.
that-
rolling with
Meg Ryan?
an angel. Michael, wax on, wax off, brings this fucking dog back to life.
Holy
I think it
crap.
might have even been William Hurt's dog. Anyways, scroll on. Nobody wants to read the whole thing, apparently. We want to half-ass everything. After Sparky is hit by the truck and killed, Michael brings him back to life. In the process,
Sparky.
he uses up his allotment of miracles and begins to weaken.
Oh.
The group reaches Chicago just in time for Michael to see the Sears Tower, which he's always wanted to see before disappearing. And Frank and Dorothy go their separate ways. Michael returns one more time, this time with Pansy in tow, and gets Frank and Dorothy back together for good.
We gotta watch this movie later.
We do.
I'll tell you what. I just want to
We
point
should
out.
do some kind of Angels in review. Angels in the outfield.
Oh,
Michael, the other
heaven
one we were
can
talking
wait.
about that I forgot about.
I want to point out
The
something.
Angel fucking movie.
City Angel?
yeah.
That John
The
Travolta.
angel fucking movie.
John Travolta was very big in the 80s. Right? He did Grease. He did Staying Alive. He
Wasn't
did
that
quite
like
a
the
few
end
movies.
70s and that's what killed his career and then he went away?
Well, he went away and then he came back
Pulp
because of Quentin Tarantino casting him in the 1994 classic.
When was
Pulp
Grease?
Fiction. Grease was like early 80s, I want to say.
Really? I would have.
Is it late 70s?
I don't know.
I could be
I
wrong.
think
Well, either way,
because it looks
because Staying
so
Alive
old.
was late 70s. So maybe Grease might have been before that. Actually, you're right. And he does Pulp Fiction, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then everyone's like, "Holy shit!"
He's back.
Quentin Tarantino single-handedly revitalized John Travolta's career. John Travolta being a huge celebrity. And the next fucking movie he does after Pulp Fiction is Michael.
Grease.
There might have been one in the middle there,
What
too.
was it? 1978, Kev?
Asher Soto in the chat says he's an angel, not a saint.
Yeah.
What a byline.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Staying Alive was 83. Okay, when was Saturday Night Fever? So that's what I meant to say. Saturday Night Fever was
77.
77. Grease was right after that, 78.
Those movies are so
right.
influential to my parents. My dad used to be able to do like this weird thing that would just shred your knees if you were to
Oh,
try it at
look at
this age
this.
Okay,
now.
see, he did
So
more
he
than
did,
what you're saying.
well, he did White Man's Bird, which is not good. Get Shorty, which is great. Get Shorty is one of my favorite movies. Broken Arrow, not good. Phenomenon, not good. Michael, not good. She's So Lovely, not good.
Face Off. Though.
Face Off,
Great.
getting it back up there.
Mad
With
City,
Nicolas
not
Cage.
good. With Nicolas Cage, the Cage connection.
This all connects.
It all connects.
When was Battlefield Earth?
Wait, what is this move though, Andy? Your dad move. Nick, are you familiar with this?
Which one? Grease?
No, there was a move in one of the Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, the point in the
no,
stars.
no,
Yeah.
it was like
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
it was like a move that if I were to fully
like a breakdance
try it,
move.
it would really fuck my knees up. But if like it was a disco move, a popular
wanna-
disco.
What was
Yeah.
it? The movie with the surprisingly sexy
Jamie Lee Curtis.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No. He's talking about Saturday Night Fever. And it's at the end when he does like when he dances, Tony Manero when he dances.
Yeah, a little dance
He does
contest.
that like boom, and he pops down. It's like
Yeah.
a breakdance move almost.
Yeah, he like
He basically bends his knees inward, pops, and then comes back up,
This is wild because I've never thought of John Travolta as like a dancing guy. But like, I mean, obviously the Saturday Night Fever thing, but like,
Oh, no.
but besides that,
killing it.
he's just always dancing.
Kevin, could you do me a favor?
Like
Yeah.
my parents told me like the disco era is like so influenced by those movies and how popularized that like everybody went out to clubs to do that shit.
Saturday Night Fever, if I'm not mistaken, was like that was like the apex of it all because that was done by all the Bee Gees did the whole soundtrack and all that stuff. But Kevin, can you Google "Staying Alive" intro? And I don't want this to be the thing that takes us down this early in the year, but I just want Tim to watch the beginning of this for what John Travolta does for the world in this movie. This is my favorite intro from any movie pretty much ever made. Period.
Wow. That's saying
Full
something.
stop.
More
Watch a
than
lot of movies.
like
You can't
more
name
than
one
Mission
that's better.
Impossible Fallout.
That was pretty cool.
That was
This
pretty
is
cool.
better.
Cool.
This
The
is
fake
better.
Wolf Blitzer.
As soon as Kevin
What
pulls it
about,
up.
Ready?
Ready?
Dawn of the Dead, the remake opening.
Wait, was that a good movie?
Great. Are they
What was
alive?
that
Are they dead? We don't know. Can you repeat that? And then Johnny Cash when the man comes around playing over it. Fuck hell
I think we got to hear it. I
How
don't know
old
if
is
we
that
can hear it
movie?
or not.
Oh, well, we can't hear it.
yeah.
Should we?
2000.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Not what I expected, Nick.
Hold on. It's going to come.
Helicopter shot, dude.
Yeah, he's got to come out.
This is-
No, just like the city noise, like that. That's
It's
pretty
putting you in,
Hold
in the
on.
spot.
It's coming. Let's put it in here.
There he goes.
There it
Coming.
is.
We're setting the
Wait
tone,
for
dude.
it.
Wait, this-
Wait for it. I mean, we're going all in on
This is
watching this
Saturday Night
movie.
Fever.
The new boot scooting right there.
That's, no, I want Staying Alive.
Fuck, my bad.
I don't know why this is Saturday Night Fever.
No,
but the song is
No,
Staying
that's
a
Alive.
great
Staying Alive.
opening.
I want
Yeah,
Staying Alive
that's
movie
the name
opening.
of the song.
Yeah, Saturday
It's
Night
a-
Fever is the movie.
Staying Alive opening scene.
Wait, yeah, this is it.
That
No.
was Staying Alive from the opening scene of Saturday Night Fever.
Staying Alive
What
is
the
the song in
fucking
Saturday Night
shit?
Fever. There's a
Type
movie
in
called
Staying
Staying Alive.
movie intro.
Okay, gotcha.
You got
Whoa.
it. Sorry, it's a sequel. Sorry.
Yep,
Staying Alive
yep,
is a
yep,
sequel
yep,
to
yep.
Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night
What?
Fever is the iconic disco movie.
Holy shit!
This is where you've seen the gift.
No, that's
a different
something
movie.
else.
No, that's a different
That's
movie,
different.
believe it or not.
Now, keep going, keep
that's
going,
a
keep going.
Jamie Lee
Keep going.
Curtis picture.
Wait for it. Ready?
Holy
Wait for
shit!
it. Hold on.
I am in love with this.
Fuck you, Tim. That's incredible.
Fuck you. How it starts?
That's how it starts, bro. That's Kurtwood Smith, bad guy from RoboCop, and the good guy from that '70s show. It's the most amazing
I
fucking
thought you
thing.
were just talking out of your ass. That was incredible.
That's what
movie
you're
we're
talking
talking
about.
about.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is Jamie Lee Curtis. What's this movie?
That is.
by an
I forget
Angel?
the name. I forget the
No,
name.
it's where
Phenomenon.
he's a. It's what's it from, dude?
What is the name of that
It's not a
movie?
good movie, but it's very sexual. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's right.
They played jazzercise instructors,
Yeah.
and that was when jazzercise was like big.
That's when you
man.
could just make movies about whatever.
Let me tell you.
Have you seen clips of this? Of like, Kevin, can you
Yes,
pull up
yes,
the
yes,
scene
yes.
where
That's
like
it right
Jamie
there.
Lee Curtis
That's it.
and him
Wait
are
for
just
it.
looking at each other?
It's the most
doing-
sex appeal you've ever seen in your life.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
And he did it in other movies.
I love Nick just
He
saying,
was-
fuck you, Tim.
No, for real.
No,
Because like the one Kevin brought up in the beginning, I expected that's what he's talking about. I'm like, this is fine, whatever. We're familiar. I did not
That's the
expect the
thing,
movie to just fucking hit. And it's just like,
So-
we're in this.
Saturday Night Fever was the one that I think pretty much put him on a map, right? He was a great
Yeah.
dancer in that. That was disco. That like is the iconic
was that-
disco white suit, black collar open, this move, the floor that's multicolored.
Yeah.
You know, all that
To be
stuff.
clear, this is when he went from being a television star to a movie star.
Because he was in Welcome Back Kotter
Yeah.
when he was on television, right?
Welcome
Does that, does Grease, and dances and sings in Grease.
Yeah.
And he's phenomenal in that.
Uh-huh.
And so he was a great dancer. And then they decided in the infinite wisdom, Sylvester Stallone said, hey, Saturday Night Fever was a big movie. By the way, Saturday Night Fever, a drama about a kid, an Italian kid who's like in with a bad group of people who just like dance kind of gets him out of it. But that's some horrible shit that happens in that movie, right? Years later, Sylvester Stallone goes, what if we made a sequel to this where Tony Manero, the kid who like was into drugs and shit, moves to New York to become a Broadway dancer? And that is what that movie is about.
yeah.
And it fucking rocks. And someone in the chat said it's the worst sequel ever. I think it's the opposite way around. I think Staying Alive's fantastic.
I think you're right.
I'm the opposite way around. I was like, what's he gonna dog? Oh, he's just saying.
Saturday Night
Right.
Fever, I don't like that much, but Staying Alive fucking rocks.
Got it.
Man,
Perfect.
That was rad.
Went on a little Travolta adventure. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I can't
I would just always do the Travolta impression from South Park. Oh my God.
Did I tell you, Andy, just as a segue away from that I watched the new Mark Wahlberg film on Apple TV Plus?
You've said that to no less than 7 people in this office since we've been back 4 days. Yeah, we know. You said it
I
all.
like to see the light go out in Andy's eyes.
Yeah, because I was talking about Valorant, and you're like, "Oh, did you know that that Valkyrie girl is in Valorant? Or she's in that new movie with Mark Wahlberg. She's playing Valorant." And I was like, "Wow, Nick, yeah, she is actually." I remember her like hyping the sort of appearance up. Yeah, what is she doing it?
It's just that one scene. They're
Oh.
in the they're in the Valorant.
All Valley
finals
tournament,
in
the All
Vegas.
Valley
Yeah, pretty
tournament.
much. And for whatever reason, they're like, one of the guys is like, I shouldn't play. This other kid that's the main character should play. And I'm like, that's not how sports works. You can't just sub someone on your team when you're in the finals of any
He's not
fucking
even
game.
registered here.
Yeah, it's got to be registered. It's got to be ranked.
But it was a terrible movie, though. Was it a waste of money for Apple TV? Because like,
Oh yeah.
when I signed up for Apple TV over the break to watch Severance with my parents, I was reminded of all of the different shows that are on Apple TV that I just forgot existed. And they have like a big offering of a variety of different shows, especially all this. I wanted to watch that the Beatles documentary that Peter Jackson directed, as well as Foundation, which I heard was kind of decent.
Well, Silo's the one everyone says if you want like sci-fi is supposed to be pretty good.
Dude,
Rebecca.
I'm saying this like it is. Apple TV is the best TV right now. It's better than HBO. And I understand
that's
how good
true.
HBO is and can
Used to
be.
be.
And Apple also has a bunch of stuff that's not great. But I think pound for pound, show to show, back in like the day, I'm talking about 3 years ago, when you'd see an HBO show and it would start with a preview for some new thing, and you're like, that's gonna be the next big thing. Apple TV has that now, where when we're watching something and there's a trailer for something I haven't heard of, we sit and watch it because we expect, the expectations it's good. There might be a chance it's bad, and they have put out a couple things recently, and some things in between. I'm watching Monarch right now, which is the Godzilla show.
How do you feel about that?
Super ton of fun. Like it's great. I wish it was higher quality than it actually is. Worth watching, but not. It's like it being Apple TV and Kurt Russell, Wyatt Russell, all that stuff. I thought it was going to be a little bit better than it is. I still have 2 episodes left, but Apple TV is incredible.
It's tough though, because like -0 just came out, and everyone's like,
that's
that's like god tier level movie.
It is.
Yeah, that's this is stand.
This is the one.
That's what it is right there. That shit looks
Oh.
like it's horrible for your knees.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
was the dance competition at the end, and he wins, but it's because the people that gave him the trophy are racist, and he realized that's the moment where he's like, "Shit, everything's rigged here. I gotta get the fuck out of this town. I gotta go be
We have
something."
that same video for.
What's the show on Apple TV with super sweaty, ripped, tall, beautiful Lee Pace?
Foundation.
Is that Foundation? Oh, okay.
That's
Because there's another sci-fi show on there that I just don't know.
There's a bunch of sci-fi shows.
There's like, but there's 2 that everybody talks about, and it's always like,
Silo's the one with
no,
Rebecca
but that's
Ferguson.
the third one that's like not super sci-fi, but it kind of is.
Okay.
I feel like there's 2 very future, very hard sci-fi that when you watch, you're like, oh, this is
For all mankind.
for all man. Yeah, that's the space one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw someone in the chat shouting out Slow Horses. That's a really good show. if you guys want like British spy show with Gary Oldman as the lead character, as this like washed up, badass old MI6 agent who's just a complete asshole and smokes and farts all the time. Watch Slow Horses. It's really good.
They got him farting in there.
He farts a lot.
He ad-libbed them all. It wasn't part of the
Crop
characters
people.
until.
Yeah.
And then Mythic Quest, there's 3 seasons of it.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Holy
And it's we all laughed at it as like, oh, there's no way this is good because it's like a Ubisoft partnered made show.
There's one of those episodes. They're like, you can just jump to this and it'll make you cry. That's what they always
Yes,
say.
and
Yeah.
every season has one. There's like weird like standalone flashback episodes. They're so good. And it's essentially Silicon Valley, but about game development.
yeah.
And it's surprisingly damn good. Like it's not like, oh, it's kind of neat. It's like, no, this is really, really, really good. And I'd say overall, it's not like the best thing ever, but by the time you get through season 1 and get to 2 to 3, you're like, this really is fucking awesome.
Now, does it hold up? Is it better or worse than Tacoma FD?
It's very different.
Because I just started watching that.
It's very different, and I'm very happy you are.
Because these, are you familiar with Tacoma FD?
No.
The Super Troopers guys are now firefighters.
Oh.
Don't fucking
Is this
say
a
it like
series
that.
or a movie?
It's a series.
Oh wow.
And I think it's an HBO Max series.
I'm just
right?
not a
No,
Broken
no, no,
Lizard
no, no.
fan.
So
this
this
I'll
is what's
never
happening.
be for me.
And we've talked about this a million times now on this show. But Netflix is realizing it's lost the war when it comes to original content. So they're like, we're just going to go back to what we started as and license out again. The streaming wars are happening the way they've been going down. Everyone's consolidating and acquiring and
I feel like they're
merging.
killing it animation wise though. Why did I say it like that?
Animation wise.
But a lot of it is acquisition. A lot of that stuff isn't actually like it's original by name, but it's not actually. But they're finding major success right now. When you look at any time, load up Netflix and look at their like top charts, new
That's
whatever.
all HBO shows.
It's all stuff that they got that are just like formerly syndication shows, which is why Suits popped off the way that it did. And that's now been happening over and over where old shows are getting new lives. And the newest one to get it is Tacoma FD, which was like I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but like a TBS show.
It said
or
True
TV.
Originals. True TV
Okay, yeah,
Originals.
it was
You
like-
said that,
TRU.
or TRU, yeah.
And it's been going on for a long time. People like it a lot, but nobody watches it. And now everyone's about to watch it because it's on Netflix. Like we're about to hear a lot about Tacoma FD.
Dude, so my brother, if I'm not mistaken, it was on HBO Max for a second. I think they syndicated it there because I remember clicking on one episode of it somewhere and thinking I don't like this because the first part of it looked true motion, but it stuck with it, and then it popped up on Netflix, just like Insecure popped up on Netflix, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll watch this now, even though it's been on HBO for fucking
Insecure is a
forever.
great example of Netflix giving it a
Yeah,
second
it got a
life.
big push.
What's also
Anyway,
the one with the actor with the eyebrows from
Daenerys?
American Pie?
Yep.
Eugene Levy.
His son.
Yeah.
Dan
Yeah.
Levy.
What's that show that his son was in?
Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's
Schitt's
Creek.
Creek. That was one that was like ABC, I believe, right? And then it went to Netflix and like exploded, or
Yeah.
it had like a big renaissance over there on Netflix.
Well, either way, I'm happy
you-
for it because
Did you guys? Sorry, go ahead.
that's okay. Go for it.
We
I was
need
gonna
new
say-
American Pie.
I don't know if we talked about this, but did you guys see that like HBO Max was like advertising the
Just
movie?
Max, Kevin.
All right,
Show
you're
some
right.
respect.
You're right.
Put some respect on
Was
his name.
advertising the movie Australia like it was something new?
Oh man, that movie. I'll tell you what.
I
That
think
was
they
that
made
was
a
a-
miniseries.
that was the first time I remember a movie could be too long.
I don't
Remember
know what
sitting
movie you're talking about.
This is
Nicole Kidman,
Hugh
Keith Urban?
Jackman.
Oh, they also called it something
No, you're right,
else,
it's
right?
exactly-
Like
Yeah, they were both
She's just
Australian.
married- She's just married to the other.
Is this
guy.
Michael Bay?
No, this was I forget who did it. I made Baz Luhrmann. I want to say did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
that's who it was. Baz Luhrmann.
But it was he
Moulin
was like,
Rouge and,
we gotta get the only two Australians in Hollywood to get together so they can finally use their real accents.
We got
Yeah.
to get.
And I was like, hey, no. But yeah, that movie was terrible.
I'd never heard of this. Never heard of Australia.
It was one of those they wanted to make a big deal about. It was like long. It was like, oh, we shot it. No, and everybody's like, we don't care about Australia. Australia,
Australia.
thrown outside
Yeah.
of Foster's, outside of Outback Steakhouse, nobody cared until Bluey, and here we are.
Steve Irwin.
Hugh Jackman.
But he came to us.
Fuck.
He came to us.
He got me.
You're
You know
right.
what I mean?
You're right.
He's right.
They left the country to come here. So why would I care about your country?
Wait, did no one see this ad? Like, there was like a
No, I didn't
week
see
where I kept getting served ad where it wasn't like they called the movie something else, and I was like, that's interesting. Like, I remember this movie being called Australia, and I like looked into it. It's like, oh no, it's just a movie Australia.
Where are we at with Echo? I don't know what Kevin was saying there, but I see Tim's reaction.
No, I don't know what you're talking about at all.
I followed everything he's saying. I didn't see it.
Okay.
Are
no
you
problem.
following what Kevin's saying? Do I need
But
to
there was an
translate?
Australia trailer on.
Where they recut, and they put it out and they called it something different, trying to make it seem like
Hagler in the
I-
chat says "nor," which is no in Australian. Nor. Could you do it, Eddie?
Oh, Nar.
that doesn't sound like
It's
that.
so hard.
No,
to
yeah,
do.
you didn't
Nor.
get it at all.
No.
But yeah, Sandy. Echo comes out tomorrow
Wow.
on
How many
Disney Plus
episodes?
and Hulu.
5.
5 episodes all at once. It's
30
rated
minutes?
M. No,
45.
it's like a real show.
Hour and a
Real
half.
show.
Each one. I'm
Want
kidding.
to hold my hand while you watch it tonight?
Huh?
Put it on. Fall asleep near Ben.
That doesn't
It'll
help
be
me review it.
It's
You'll still remember
tomorrow.
more than me.
Yeah, but
somehow.
we're doing an interview for that next week, so we have time.
yeah,
I know.
they'll stack up though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Don't
mean,
let it
yeah,
stack.
you get to
Tomorrow,
the end.
6 p.m., right?
No.
What are your expectations?
I'm-
Good time.
My expectations
Daredevil
are
gonna be in it?
like, look,
Yeah.
everybody. We're not going to get into the MCU conversation about expectations or all that shit. Overall, Echo.
Echo. What do you think?
Going into it, there was a lot of production woes and concerns, and like, oh, this doesn't sound good, and early screenings aren't good, whatever. Then that started turning around and being like, whoa, they're getting this into shape. And then when they first started dropping the trailers, it's like, hey, this looks good actually. And all the previews recently have been pretty strong. But then there's no screeners, there's no early access reviews or whatever. So people are a little concerned about that. But the fact that they're all dropping at once, I think they're trying a different strategy. So I'm going into it. Definitely not something I'm like, can't freaking wait for. In fact, like I don't even know if I'm going to watch an episode tomorrow. I think I
Wow.
might kind of chill and like do it on the
D'Onofrio's
weekend.
in it, right? We got Kingpin in there.
A lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited
We get
about that.
Daredevil too.
I
Both eyes?
really thought this was going to be one of those that got canceled.
Yeah.
When it's one of those when the logo shows up, I'm like, no way this thing comes out because of just the state of everything. But damn,
It's
so no
on the wrong
reviews,
station.
no reviews, no screeners, no nothing like that.
Mm-mm.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Or just
I
hear
mean, I
from
think-
one person I like, be like, hey, pretty good.
Well, because I think they're trying to really like. My hope is they know that they have something, and they're like, we want people to just word of mouth this one because like, from everything we've seen from it, it's kind of giving the Netflix MCU people a bone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they
Yeah,
want
because the
that
trailers are referencing Daredevil, right? And having
heavily.
stuff in there.
Yeah, and like, and he's in it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be in it much, but like, there's like at least
Is he gonna be kissing She-Hulk in there?
I doubt that. But there's like a 5-minute Daredevil fight.
What a great episode that was.
Yeah.
She-Hulk gets so much hate. It's
We
so
don't talk about
stupid.
She-Hulk.
Like what a
It's not even
great,
hate. We just don't talk about
what a
her.
fun series it was.
No?
But everyone else hates it.
Huh?
Everyone else hates it.
Who?
The whole world.
Who? Chat, do you hate it?
We were
You
like
know.
the highest on She-Hulk of anybody.
I had a great fucking time.
We don't hate women.
It was so funny. But the Daredevil episode was phenomenal. I forgot what I was watching recently that made me feel that sexual love tension between her and Matt Murdock. I was like, man, I haven't felt this since. Well, I'm blanking on the main actress's name. Tatiana Maslany. Yeah, her and freaking Charlie
Cox.
Day? Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
Them being together, I was like, man, I could feel this. This is awesome to watch. It was a good show.
It was a good show.
Had a great time with it.
I didn't realize,
you-
I didn't realize people hated it. But everybody hates everything now.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
know?
specifically though, like there's a couple things. Okay.
No, yeah, everybody points at like this is like this
As
is
trash as you can get. They're twerking like, oh, this is where we're at as a society. That's how they sound.
Well, you had a chance for a better thing and y'all ruined Snyder, so there you go.
Yeah.
You know? We had somebody who was pushing the envelope and asking real
a big
questions.
stretch to make that statement.
They announced today, Peacemaker, Peacemaker, season 2 is gonna get a new intro that's as epic as the first.
Oh, you have to imagine it would.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
James Gunn came out was just like, oh yeah, no, it's gonna be new. It's gonna be different.
He's halfway done writing it, I heard, right?
Very
this
exciting stuff.
What a busy dude. Can you imagine?
I can't.
Like, first off, one of the things that we heard that he talked about, like a lot of practical effects. He said no CG. It's like, okay, come on. But they're going very practical with a lot of the Superman stuff.
Can't wait.
Gonna launch a dude into.
They're really bringing in aliens to be part of it. Yeah.
where he's swimming.
Yeah.
That's not real.
I don't know, man. I would love to. I really, really hope this is like a big hit for them.
Superman?
I hope that James Gunn pulls it off.
It will. He will.
Got a lot of faith in him.
I do. James Gunn's never let me down.
There's a smoking gun somewhere.
What?
Thank you.
I mean, real talk though, James Gunn hasn't let us down. Like, it might not be the best thing ever all the time, always, but like the worst comic book project, and like take comic book out, it still stands, but the worst comic book thing he's done to any individual opinion we have is still
Peacemaker.
good.
Oh yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah.
I think.
Wait, you
Yeah, I
think
think of
Peacemaker's the worst thing he's done?
I think so.
What?
it might be the low. Not,
Of the three
worse
Guardians?
is a bad
Yeah.
way of saying
And
it.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
And
think
it's still not bad.
yeah, it's
but
good. It's fun.
I think it's like my least favorite of them all. Because like I talked about on those reviews, it felt like it was just a lot of the same jokes done a lot over a long season, you know? You say something and you go, wait, you don't know what that means. Yeah, it means this and that. Like that sort of comedy, they just did that like so many times. I was just like, all right, let's pull it back. Pull it back.
And he's a
Bring me
comic
on.
buff.
I don't know about this guy.
I know about him.
What do you know?
Nick, what are you sitting on? What's behind you right now?
Oh, it took me a year of doing a podcast in the studio where I realized I could finally just put something behind my back and sit up a little taller. Because these chairs, I sink in so much.
Yeah.
They're sinking
And I'm like,
chairs.
what if I just like give myself a little lumbar support?
Yeah.
I feel good right now. When I move, it does make me feel like I'm sleeping on an air mattress. You know that sound where like you're dead asleep and you move and it just wakes you up. Like, the fuck was that?
What'd you put back?
I
there?
have
put
no
the-
idea what you're talking about.
I put the
Patrick from
Patrick from
SpongeBob,
SpongeBob.
yeah.
behind me.
Oh, okay. So it's,
This sound,
it's
listen.
literally. They can't hear it. The
Oh,
gate.
okay.
That does sound
Wow,
like it,
holy
yeah.
crap, I get it now. Yeah.
If you talk while it's happening,
The
we can,
face
Check,
was
check,
great.
check, 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 check.
no, I don't think we can hear
Check.
it.
We will end with a message from Mr. House. He wrote in,
MD.
just like you can, at kindafunny.com/KF podcast. I'm a middle school art teacher, and besides teaching 6th through 8th grade classes, I also teach an adaptive art class with middle and high school students who are differently abled. The way I run this class is with units that are based around movies, so we can do our arts and craft lessons, then watch a bit of the movie for context. After I saw you were all doing Wonka in review, I realized I hadn't seen the original Willy Wonka since I was a child, so I decided that'd be our next unit. For many of the students, this was their first time seeing the film. When we got to the part where Grandpa Joe stands for the first time in 20 years and flops around, the students lost it. One of my nonverbal students was laughing hysterically as Grandpa Joe was flopping around. They were all having such a great time. I just wanted to say thank you for inadvertently bringing so much joy to my students and I.
Aww.
That's
Aw,
awesome.
That's nice.
And again, the power of Wonka. Like doing Wonka in review, one of the weirder franchises for us to do, I would say, compared to most that we've done. I think that there was a lot of value found in between those three movies. Where the first one, is it still a classic? The answer, yes, it is. The Johnny Depp one, is it as bad as everyone thinks it is?
It's
yes,
worse.
It is somehow worse. And do we really need a Wonka prequel? Turns out they can make it pretty good.
Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it, man. I was a crying mess by the end. Don't cry. Don't look at me. I'm crying with the Wonka guy.
I know. Right there with you.
Come with me,
Oh my God.
and we'll be in a world of pure. Do you want to talk out the podcast? You can do the outro. We're pure imagination.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each coming to talk to you about whatever it is on their mind. If you want to be on the top of our mind, you can write in for free at kindafunny.com/KF podcast. The best way to get the show is to support us with a Kind of Funny membership, either on patreon.com/kindafunny or youtube.com/kindafunnygames, where of course you can get each and every episode ad free. You can watch us record the show live as we record it, and you can get my daily vlog Greg Way each and every weekday. If you have no bucks tossed our way, no big deal. youtube.com/kindafunny. Podcast services around the globe for the ad-filled version with none of the freebies or the extras and exclusives. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
There's nothing to it.
Bing, bang, bang.